Will the House come to order? Mr. Clerk?
Aloha and good afternoon. Today's invocation will be delivered by Representative John M. Mizuno. Will the members who wish to participate please rise?
Members, please be seated. Thank you very much. I'd like to share some words from 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 7. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. Love is not arrogant or rude. Love does not insist on its own way. Love is not irritable or resentful. Love does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Members, love is a way of life, focused not on oneself, but on helping others. We express our love while at this institution by the delivery of meaningful changes, such as raising the minimum wage for our workforce, expanding affordable housing, providing greater access to health and human services, protecting our environment, improving education, reducing crime, and building a strong economy. Members, your legacy is every life you touch. May our God continue to bless all of you. Thank you, members.
Thank you, Representative Mizuno. Moving on to item 1. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Ayu, Mr. Alcos, Ms. Amato, Ms. Bellotti, Mr. Chun, Ms. Cochran, Mr. Evslin, Mr. Ganadin, Mr. Garcia, Mr. Garrett, Mr. Gates, Mr. Hashem, Mr. Hashimoto, Mr. Holt, Ms. Hussey Burdick, Ms. Ichiyama, Ms. Kahaloa, Ms. Capella, Mr. Kila, Ms. Kitagawa, Mr. Kobayashi,
Excuse.
Mr. Kong, Ms. Lachika, Ms. Lamosao, Ms. Lowen, Ms. Martin, Ms. Martinez, Mr. Matayoshi, Ms. Matsumoto, Mr. Mizuno, Ms. Morikawa, Ms. Nakamura, Mr. Nakashima, Mr. Nishimoto, Mr. Onishi, Ms. Peruso,
Excuse.
Mr. Pirik, Ms. Poepoe, Mr. Quinlan, Mr. Saiki, Mr. Sayama, Ms. Souza, Mr. Takayama, Ms. Takenauchi, Mr. Tam, Mr. Tarnas, Mr. Todd, Mr. Ward, Mr. Woodson, Mr. Yamashita. Mr. Speaker.
Present.
Mr. Speaker, 49 members are present, 2 are excused.
Thank you. Item 2, reading of the journal. Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, may this matter be deferred.
So ordered. Item 3, Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the governor?
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
Item 4, Mr. Clerk, are there any Senate communications?
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
Members, are there any introductions? Representative Martin.
Thank you very much. I have the pleasure today of introducing some awardees from the Friends of the Library. Each year we honor some of these amazing and dedicated volunteers who work tirelessly to raise money in support of Hawaii's public libraries. Historically, these volunteers have been year-round warehouse volunteers who sort and price the close to 1 million items we receive each year. Recently, we have also added a year-round bookstore that has added at least 20 more volunteers to the ranks of the 75 volunteers that work in the warehouse. Of course, there's a lot of crossover between bookstore, warehouse, and book sale volunteers. Those that we are honoring today, if you could please stand, are Diane Boones. Diane arrived in Honolulu 40 years ago from New York. She has a business background, is an intrepid traveler, and an avid reader. She became a year-round volunteer about 10 years ago when the organization was still based out of Kaka'ako. For years before that, Diane had been a volunteer at the annual book sale. Over the last decade, Diane has praised many different sections, including English, economics, self-help, travel, Atlas, Eastern religion, and most recently, the vintage books. Vintage books is a category that came around 6 years ago because as Diane helped with posting books for sale on Amazon, many of the older books were charming and interesting, but held value more in their age and character than in their monetary worth. Diane researches these books, and they're a popular addition at the bookstore. When she's not volunteering as a greeter at our book sales, Diane can be found volunteering with many other arts-related nonprofits like Downtown Art Center and HISAM. Diane says that she feels lucky to have the opportunity to support our libraries and enrich the lives of our book-loving customers. Thank you, Diane. Next, we have Kathy Hoover, who arrived in Hawaii in 1969 and lived in Hilo for 5 years. Kathy then moved to Honolulu and worked at the bookstore while enrolled at the library science program at UH. To help her in achieving her degree, she received a Friends of the Library scholarship for 2 years. Upon completing her degree, Kathy remained at UH to work in the Pacific Collection at Hamilton Library and the East-West Center. Following UH, Kathy worked in the book department of Liberty House and then joined the Honolulu Academy of Arts as a shop manager in 1980, where she worked to grow the museum store for the next 32 years. Prior to retiring in 2014, Kathy had volunteered at the annual book sales as a cashier, and she joined the ranks of the year-round warehouse volunteers in 2014, just before the organization moved from Pohukaina Street. With her expertise in art books and sales, Kathy was a perfect volunteer to help Friends of the Library with the Amazon sales area that started in 2012. Kathy has grown and curated the Amazon book sales program, developing procedures for freezing and treating books, and using her librarian background to come up with a glossary of terms to describe books for Amazon listings. Today, there are close to 2,000 books listed on Amazon, and it brings in more than $35,000 a year for the organization. When not volunteering at Friends of the Library, Kathy goes on amazing trips with her husband and friends, like sailing around the South Pacific and motoring across the U.S. Thank you, Kathy. Finally, not here with us today is another volunteer we'd like to honor, Maile Tuthill, and I will insert some description of her amazing achievements for the journal. And finally, for the rest of the week after the floor sessions for our Education Week, awardees and their guests will be in the Minority Caucus Parlor. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Kahaloa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, I would, on behalf of the Hawaii Island delegation, I'd like to welcome Kimo Lee and his family. I would love to give his whole biography and all his commitment to our community, but I'll keep it brief. Kimo works for W.H. Shipman and is a community advocate and business leader, and he's here with his niece and nephew and his ohana today. So Kimo Lee and ohana, welcome to your House of Representatives. And may I ask that we add the names of his guests into the journal?
So ordered.
Mahalo.
Members, are there any further introductions? Let's move on to item 5, floor presentations. Mr. Clerk, are there any floor presentations?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we have one floor presentation today. House Resolution number 214, congratulating the 2023 Hawaii Charter School Teacher of the Year and the 2023 Teachers of the Year for the school complexes in the Maui District, Hawaii District, and Central District. This resolution is offered by Representative Woodson.
Representative Woodson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to adopt this resolution.
Representative Cochran.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded that the resolution be adopted. Any discussion, Representative Cochran? Representative Cochran? Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of Hawaii State House of Representatives, I'd like to once again express our sincere thanks to those who guide our keiki through the first 2 decades of their lives in Hawaii schools and their exceptional contributions to our community. On this second day of Education Week, we honor outstanding teachers who have gone above and beyond to provide their students with a high-quality education, as indicated by their receipt of Complex Teacher of the Year Award. Every year, educators are selected statewide for their demonstration of personal prestige, collaborative leadership, and cutting-edge curriculum, instruction, and assessment. These teachers work tirelessly in and out of school to ensure our youth are well-equipped to excel in the pursuit of their goals. I yield to my colleague from Kapolei.
Representative Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my pleasure to congratulate this year's Hawaii State Charter School Teacher of the Year, Miss Serena Livaday of Dreamhouse Eva Beach Public Charter School. Miss Livaday serves as a science coach at Dreamhouse, where she founded Dreamhouse's first computer science program. Through this program, Livaday led her students to first place in the Congressional App Challenge for 2 years in a row and has coached them through other national coding competitions such as Samsung Solve for Tomorrow. Serena Livaday's aspiration to provide a STEM and computer science education to her students, particularly those of Hawaiian descent, speaks to her commitment to opening access to students' academic opportunities as well as to their mental and emotional well-being. Ms. Livaday is truly an asset to her community as a selfless mentor to her students. Ms. Livaday has invited students and family from her spring break program called Future Ancestors to join her today in the gallery. If you all could please stand. Students and family, please stand to be recognized and welcome to your House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, I humbly ask that their names be inserted into the journal.
So ordered.
I now yield to my colleague from Lahaina.
Representative Cochran.
Thank you, Speaker. I am proud to honor Mr. Cornelio C.J. Ancheta, the 2023 Hana Lahaina Luna Lana'i Moloka'i Complex Teacher of the Year, currently the math teacher at Lahaina Luna High School. Mr. Ancheta began his educational journey by earning bachelor's and master's degrees in agricultural engineering from the University of the Philippines at Los Baños. He has since earned many awards in teaching, including the Hawaii State Teacher Fellowship in 2020, the 2020 Hawaii State Department of Education Innovation Grant, the Leadership and Achievement Award from the Maui Filipino Chamber of Commerce, and the Progress Award from the United Filipino Council of Hawaii. Mr. Ancheta continuously seeks to innovate the quality of education that his students receive and is an advocate for problem-based learning, a teaching strategy that emphasizes 21st century learning skills in communication, creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking. Thank you for your continued dedication to our keiki, Mr. Ancheta, and I just want to say on a personal level, I had no idea this was a living treasure. I knew CJ as the manager at Honolulu store, and he was always so friendly, and I just was like, I started hearing about his teaching honors and went, wow, who knew this man had all these hidden skills? So mahalo for your service to our community, CJ, and again, congratulations. And I yield to my colleague from Ka'u.
Representative Capella.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is my honor to recognize Ms. Shayani Brooks from the Ka'u Kea'au Pahoa 2023 Complex Teacher of the Year. Shayani Brooks has been an English teacher at Ka'u High and Pahala Elementary School for the last 9 years. She holds a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Secondary Curriculum, Instruction, and Educational Technology from Chulalongkorn University and a master's degree in Language and Communications from the National Institute of Development administration in Bangkok. Cheyenne Brooks was previously recognized numerous times for her work to educate our keiki, including being selected as a Hawaii State Teacher Fellow from 2020 to 2022 and a Pulitzer Center Teacher Fellow. A national board certified teacher, Cheyenne Brooks demonstrates leadership by advocating for assessments that empower student learning and success, leading professional development trainings for teachers throughout the state, and composing articles on educational assessments, feedback, and student voice. Mahalo, Ms. Cheyenne, for striving tirelessly to deliver a quality learning experience to all of our keiki. Your work is the foundation of a brighter future for the next generation of leaders and for our island home. Congratulations. And I now yield to my colleague from Haleiwa.
Representative Quinlan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm very proud today to recognize Mr. Jared Haiola. Mr. Haiola has been a special education teacher for 22 years and credits his mother, who served Kahuku Elementary School for 15 years, as his inspiration. Mr. Haiola is also an advisor and coach of Haleiwa Elementary School's robotics team, which was founded in 2016. Under his guidance, the team has twice earned top honors in the VEX IQ Robotics Hawaii State Championships. In December of 2021, Mr. Haiola received the VEX IQ Robotics Teacher of the Year Award for his exemplary leadership and dedication. He notes that watching his students develop their science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education and become state champions in a prestigious robotics competition have been highlights of his career. Mr. Jared Haiola, welcome to your House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, in addition to these complex area teachers of the year, we would like to recognize Malia Draper, the Baldwin Kekalike Maui Complex Teacher of the Year, Sherry Taraoka, the Aiea Moanalua Radford Complex Teacher of the Year, Joel Matsunaga, the Honoka'a Kealakehe Kohala Konoaena Complex Teacher of the Year, Shelby Ann Erdman, the Kapa'a Kauai Waimea Complex Teacher of the Year, Deanne Takeno, the Kailua Kalaheo Complex Teacher of the Year, Christy Tays, the Hilo Waiakea Complex Teacher of the Year, and Makena Ale, the Castle Kahuku Complex Teacher of the Year. Though they were unable to participate in Education Week, I would like to extend a big mahalo and congratulations to these educators. On behalf of the House of Representatives, I would also like to thank the guests in the gallery who have joined us to recognize these Complex Teacher of the Year awardees. In absentia, all you wonderful teachers, welcome to your House of Representatives. And Mr. Speaker, may I please have their names entered into the journal.
So ordered. Members, we're going to call for a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. The motion is carried. Representative Woodson, please proceed with a certificate and lay presentation. The chair will call a recess to allow the members of the House to meet and congratulate the honorees. Recess. Will the House come to order? Moving to item 6, reports of standing committees. Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee Reports number 1223 and 1224 as listed on page 2, and that the accompanying House resolution and House concurrent resolution as amended be referred to the Committee on Consumer Protection and Commerce.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Any discussion on StanCom Report 1223 and 1224 in tandem? Representative Ward.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in strong support.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, this is a very important bill, particularly for the two main issues that I have in this session. Number one, Hawaiian issues, and number two, ALICE issues. According to the governor's whiteboard, there are 450,000 plus members in Medicaid. So this reso, as a way of expanding or at least keeping the ALICE families up to speed with their health, et cetera, this is a very good reso to remind us of that. Thank you.
Members will be calling a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. Moving to item 7. Members, are there any announcements? Representative Morikawa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remember doing this about many, many years ago for the 40th, her 40th birthday. I won't tell you how old she is now, but she's probably going to get ready to embark in another decade. I'd like to wish a happy birthday to the Chair of Health, Representative Makiki. Happy birthday.
Representative Belatti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to extend a warm happy birthday to my colleague, the representative from Kalihi.
Mr. Speaker,
Representative Kila.
at the appropriate time may be permitted a late introduction.
So ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the gallery today, I'd like to welcome Ilihia, the public, oh, where'd he go? Ilihia was just here, the public information officer, and then our representative from Kona, their daughter as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Representative Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just wanted to announce tomorrow is the Fellowship Luncheon, room 430. If you are free, please join us. Pastor Jocelyn from New Life Church will be the guest speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, with no further announcements, Representative Morikawa for adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 12 o'clock noon tomorrow.
Representative Garcia.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion is carried. The House stands adjourned until 12 noon tomorrow.